Welcome to the Duke of Edinburgh's International Award pilot podcast episode. It is so exciting to launch it from vibrant Vegas, where we are now hosting international gold events and the forum. This is an amazing opportunity to the award association to come together, learn from each other, exchange experience, and make some plans. I'm Oksana, Communications Officer at the Duke of Edinburgh's International Award Foundation. And on this podcast, I will be meeting award holders from across the globe to chat about their award experiences, leadership, wellness, career path, and all things the Duke of Edinburgh's International Awards. And today, I'm delighted to be here with Brianna Simmons, our international youth representative from Bermuda for the last 3 years, Emerald Akomere, our new incoming international youth representative, and for the first part of today's episode, Martin Houghton-Brown, our Secretary General, also joins the conversation. Thank you all for joining. I know it has been such a busy time here at the forum, so I really appreciate your time with me. And before we all move to the questions and topics to chat about, let's have a round of quick introductions. And Brianna, let's start with you.
My name is Brianna Simmons. Like Oksana said, I'm from Bermuda. I am 24 years old, and I completed all 3 levels of the award, but I specifically completed my gold in 2018 in the Bahamas. And it's helped me to be able to get my job that I have now, which is working as a marine mammal specialist at Dolphin Bermuda.
Amazing. Emerald.
Hello, my name is Emerald Akomere. I'm from Nigeria. It's supposed to all here. I completed my silver and gold, but I have my gold in 2022, just right into my first year of uni. It was a very interesting experience. Currently, I am a machine learning engineer where I run my initiative Afrotech Excel, where we encourage civilization of education to women and girls across Africa. And yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Thank you. Martin?
Yes, so Martin Houghton-Brown, Secretary General. I think I'm probably a little bit younger than your ages combined, you two. So I'm still young. I think that makes me still young. And I've been the Secretary General of the Duke of Edinburgh's International Award Association for just 18 months. So I'm relatively new to the organisation. I have a history of leading non-profits in the UK, and I've been working with young people since I started my career as a school teacher back in the 1990s.
Martin, you're also an award holder yourself.
Bronze, silver, and gold. Very proud, and I was very lucky that I went to receive my gold award from Prince Philip at St James's Palace in London. So it's been really exciting, and actually, when I studied to be a teacher, we had to produce a dissertation that studied a particular element of education. And it sounds grand, but it isn't that grand. I studied the role of adventure education in self-actualization. So the idea that by going outdoors, by being part of adventure education, it helps you as a person to discover something about yourself, to become more independent, more free-thinking, and more capable of managing your resources. And that was my very first degree thesis back in the late 80s, early 90s.
Thank you all again for joining. I'm the only one without the award here. Very ashamed of that. And I would like to start with something I especially like about the award. It's how flexible it is. And every year, it's over 1 million young people starting their award journey in more than 130 countries and territories. This is so amazing. And even though the framework is same for all of them, as we know, it's a skills section, physical recreation, volunteering service, adventurous journey, and also residential project on the gold level. Each experience is unique. And I think that it allows people to follow their passions. So I want to hear from you all. What was the passion you followed when you were starting your award? And Martin, I'm very curious about you.
Well, so I did my award through an organisation called the Air Training Corps, which is the Royal Air Force Cadets in the UK. And I just was excited by aeroplanes. I was a bit geeky about aeroplanes. And so I studied aircraft knowledge for my skills and air navigation and how to recognize different aircraft. And as a young man, I learned to fly a glider. And when I was 16 years old, I flew a glider solo, so no one else in the cockpit, and I've landed. And that bug has stuck with me. And so when I was 49, I thought, I'm let's hope that I'm going to live a long life. So maybe I'm halfway through my life. I'm coming up to 50, and but what am I going to do to mark my halfway point? And I decided that I was going to learn to fly an aeroplane and get my pilot's license. So at 49, I went off and learned to fly an aeroplane. And so now that's my hobby. I fly little tiny aeroplanes, just two-seaters for fun over the south of England.
Amazing. And I think that's also something that award brings to your life. You realize that you can always keep learning. And Emerald, I know you are our tech enthusiast. So did you manage to involve that in your work experience?
Yes, actually, for my skill section, I really wanted to do something very different. So, as Africans, definitely we're really hands-on, although I learned how to sew, but I wanted something just very unique. So I thought to myself, why don't I learn how to make computers do certain things? So basically, using the computer to do what I want to do. So I started learning on how to code. So we had a computer teacher then, and I used to bug my award leaders because they were not the tech enthusiasts, but they had to learn because of me. It just also shows that the award is a family. Just because you're self-discovering, you also have people who are there to guide you on that path. And if that means them having one or two knowledge on things they never knew about, then kudos. Like that's the whole point of the award. So they were really supportive, and that has led me to read computer science when I was in school. And despite being the only girl in my department, I never felt I was alone. Because remember, I said I was still doing my gold award in my 100 level. So I always had a lot of people to bug. And this job, but also led me to see how to use that for impact. So relating that to the community service. For my final year project, I built a model that helps to detect cervical cancer using microscopic imaging. I went ahead and did that test for about 500 women. Then this year, we also won the community prize in Indaba. So Indaba is like celebrating AI in Africa. We went ahead to win the community prize for that first position, just to show the transformation of using technology. So the award has been with me literally every step of the way, and it's been amazing.
It's just so impressive. And Brianna, I heard a little bit about your passion about environmental issues and especially marine life. So tell us a little bit about that and how that was incorporated in your award journey.
Yeah, so Bermuda is a small island in the middle of the ocean. So being surrounded by the ocean, I grew up going to the beaches all the time or just being in the water and around the water. Luckily, I did have family members that were heavily involved in different environmental studies, or say they worked at the local aquariums or our Oceanographic Institute. So as I got older, I found myself realizing, hey, I kind of like this animal thing. I think I can work with that. So I did a few internships at the Oceanographic Institute from, say, 16 and 17. But it wasn't until one of my teachers in high school introduced me to the marine biology department that we have. And I was one of the only ones that was really keen on it, really interested in it. So through doing that course, I was able to kind of use that knowledge from the classroom into doing my part of my adventurous journeys. Even for my award, my group, we sailed on a tall ship around Bermuda. So we had to kind of figure out how to circumnavigate the entire island with no help. Which was very interesting. But we also surveyed various microplastics and things like that as well as we were going around the island. And through that, we were able to present it to our local communities as well, just because, like I said, it's a small island in the middle of the ocean. So we do have a big microplastic problem where we sit. So having that knowledge kind of in the forefront for my classes, but then also being able to use it as a part of my award was really interesting. It was actually part of the reason why I was able to eventually go to the Global Young Leaders Conference. It was in Washington, D.C. and New York, I believe, where actually myself and over 120, I believe, other young people were looking at the SDGs, and mine specifically was looking at clean water and sanitation. So through doing that, I was able to kind of take that up to the UN, and my partner and I, we actually won the competition. So the UN was actually looking at our proposals and our projects. So it's been a part of my life, I would say, for a very long time.
That is a true passion, and you can really feel it when you talk about it. And my next question is about the impact of the award. And you basically already shared a little bit about it, but just in general, maybe like to summarize, what was the biggest change in your life after completing the framework? And also, have you seen changes in your communities where people also completed the award? Emerald, let's start with you.
I think you can't stay around me for 2 minutes without me talking about the award because every single thing I do stems from the award, pushing me to explore myself. So I mentioned earlier with the skills session, I started learning about coding and technology. And what that made me to do is, while I was in university and I was working on my thesis, I realized that if other girls like me had the same opportunity to learn these same things, they would be able to also create change that is culturally relevant to them using technology in their community. So that led me to start teaching digital skills, but in a cultural way, meaning using things that they appreciate already to build a momentum so that they are now motivated to do that. And currently, we've been able to train over 850 young girls. And right now, we're in a partnership with the award here in Nigeria to be able to expand that next year to 1,000 girls. And one thing that's really interesting about that is that all the 850 girls have created technological solutions to problems in their community. And many of them are already part of the award. I mean, one of them even got her gold. Right now in the community, she has a project, Radfest. And with this project, Radfest, she's introducing safe way for young people, women, people in very vulnerable and underserved communities for them to access healthcare and technology in a very subsidized way. Because this is a very big issue in Nigeria. So she's been doing that. She's been working with NGOs. She's been working with the award here in Lagos. So we can see that the award is really the critical mass in a way. So it takes you, expunges you, you pick a value, and then you expand on that value. And the ripple effect of what one person does is felt among so many people that we cannot trace who started something and who is receiving it on the other end because it just keeps going and going and going. So it's been really interesting to be part of the award, to say the least.
It's so lovely how you talk about it and how many stories are there behind every person who participates in the award. It's really inspiring. And Brianna, what about you?
Well, I mean, I think there's so many different stories that come to mind of impact of the award on my life, but only how I've been able to use that impact to help other people's lives as well. But one kind of example that comes to mind is through our emerging leader program that specifically we have in Bermuda. So I am one of the alumni co-chairs that we have that sit on our board back home. So I've been really pushing our bronze and silver participants not only to go up to the gold level or to go to that next level, but to make sure that they're having those connections with their fellow participants or even the participants that we're trying to bring into the award, specifically with our new incoming emerging leaders that we have now. They're recently just finishing their gold. So we're starting to get them more engaged with the younger participants. And it's been really interesting to see just how much that program has grown and developed. Because from when I did it, it was me and like 2 of my other friends. And we were more just concerned about how can we still hang out with each other, but also still give back to the award that gave so much to us. So by being able to be a part of that program and help being one of the people that essentially helped to build that program out to what it is now has been really inspiring and impactful for me.
Thank you. And Martin, you have your personal experience, but you also have quite a unique wide overview. So you see how many young people the award touch and like changes in their communities and maybe even changes in some policies or practices. Can you tell us about that?
So I think it's really important to recognize that I first experienced leadership when I was the leader of my group in my adventurous journey. And so I've been leading organizations in some way, shape, or form ever since my Gold Award adventurous journey. And I never imagined in a million years that I would be asked to be the Secretary General of the Duke of Edinburgh's International Award. And the reason I said yes when I was asked to come and be part of this community of organizations that help young people is because I really want every young person, I really mean every young person, to have the same chance I had. Because when you participate in the award, you discover things about yourself. You discover perhaps a new interest, perhaps that you can stretch yourself or challenge yourself a bit more than you realized you could. You learn about perseverance. You learn how to solve problems. And when you build those skills, those are the skills that make life not just kind of easier, but actually more exciting, more interesting. Mm-hmm. You get to tackle life and say, wow, the world's a big place. I can do something. And so I really wanted to be able to have a job where I could help young people to discover their potential, their place in the world, their passion for life. And this job helps me to do that because I have, as you say, an overview of over 130 countries where organizations are reaching out and saying, come and do the award with us. And young people, 1.2 million young people every year are saying, yes, I'll come and explore the award. And as they explore the award, gain their bronze awards, their silver, their gold awards, they are in that journey of self-discovery. And coming here to Forum in Lagos, Nigeria, I am seeing young people from over 50 nations have gathered here, and they are exchanging ideas, they're challenging one another. So the award journey doesn't finish when you get your gold. In some respects, you could say it starts. And so I'm also championing award holders to be ambassadors for the award and to keep on challenging themselves. So that's why I'm here. That's what I'm doing, and that's what I see when I look out over the world, an amazing community of young people who are award holders and on their award journey. And it's just the best feeling in the world to be part of it.
I agree. And if our listeners or viewers haven't been here, you can look at some of the content from the forum and you will see just how amazing it is. And it's a real feel of the community. I think that was one of the participants mentioned that was the main word, right? I think it was you, Emerald, that was the main word you can hear, that people feel the community and they want to continue building the community. I also wanted to discuss a bit, for example, in the UK, the award is very well known. Like everyone heard of it. Everyone knows at least something about it. And I wonder if it's the same in your regions. So Emerald, we are now obviously having this massive event here. So I think there is an interest, but is it so?
You can say so among young people, because one thing about Nigerians is that we're always looking for the next opportunity to improve ourselves. One thing we understand, especially in our culture, there are some very traditional values and wisdom, quote of wisdom, that is like, for you to move ahead, you have to do some things differently. And the award is different. From the concept to the implementation to the community you get after that is really different. So a lot of young people have expressed interest. I mean, you all saw that during the gold ceremony at the governor's place. You see vibrant young people. It's also worthy to know that many of them traveled from different parts of Nigeria to be there at the gold event in Lagos. So you can really see the enthusiasm and them pulling resources. And I say this every single time. The most expensive resource that we can never pay for is time. So when you have young people all over the continent, all over the globe, putting in their time into this award, then you can really see how valuable and how important and how well known the award is, because this is something they can never get back, but they're benefiting so much from the award that they have to give a very expensive resource into the award.
Yeah. Brianna, have you also maybe talked with some of the participants from your wider region, like from Caribbeans? Have you heard how they feel about the awards? Is it well known there?
I would say it's pretty well known in the sense of if you're directly involved with the award, you know what the award's about, the framework of it. But most people, it's just, oh, those are the kids that are walking with those backpacks on, which is what kind of the scope that most people get from it. But even with that, it's not just going out and hiking or being out in the wilderness for 2 days, 3 nights, or 3 days, 2 nights. It's really about building, like you were saying, your community and building those friendships and those connections, but also being able to give back and learn a new skill that you may have never thought that would have been possible for you. So we're really trying to kind of push that message more, other than it's just hiking. Because I feel like that's what most people think when they think of an award or a framework like the one that we have for the Duke of Edinburgh program. It's just they go out and they hike and they camp. Nobody really sees or tends to hear more about the physical section, the skill, or how we're giving back to the community. So we're really trying to push that message just a little bit more within the Americas region, specifically within the Caribbean region as well.
Just to give an example with regards to community and physical activities. So while I was doing the award in my school, it was a public school because I went to a public secondary school. We did not have cleaners, so it's normal for you to clean, but we definitely had trash issues, weed issues. And for our community service for a particular month, we said that during our sports break, we would only use one portion of the sports break. The other portion, we use it to clean our school, educate different classes on waste propagation, segmentation, how to ensure that everything goes smoothly. And it was so fun that we had teachers and students join us to clean the school. And it then became a community thing that every Saturday, most people will go around, look for where they're just like landfills, and then sort it out, even without us being there. So they knew about the award because of the hands-on challenge. Many of the students in our school did not engage in physical activities like volleyball, but like our volleyball team came up. I was in the football team in school. We did so well. We were invited to the villa where the president stays to have lunch with the then vice president's wife. So this just goes to show that the award is really more than, the AJ, the adventurous journey that we have, and is affecting people in different areas. So just like to add that a little bit.
Yeah, and I think that's the main message we are trying to put through, like using the social media, using our ambassadors, that it's not just hiking, it's not just doing something for yourself, it's literally for the whole community. And Martin, what do you think has changed or maybe remained the same, which makes the award still relevant? Because the award is now reaching 70 years. So yeah, what has changed? What remained the same? How is it still relevant?
So what's remained the same is it is the same framework doing the skills, the sports, the voluntary service, the adventurous journey, and then the residential project if you do gold, as it's always been. And it's still focused on helping you to set your own program, to set your own goals, to not have other people tell you how to do it, but you tell yourself, this is the goal I'm going to achieve over the period of time I'm committing. So that's the same. And the reason it's the same is because it works. Every time a young person completes their bronze, they have a sense of personal achievement. They have a sense of having learned and gained something new. They're proud, and they continue to be proud for life. I have to travel with my job all over the world. And because I'm an aviation geek, I always try and talk to the pilot when I'm getting on the airplane. I go, hi. I don't tell them I'm a pilot because I'm only a baby pilot. But I say to them, they say, oh, well, where are you traveling? I said, oh, I work for the Duke of Edinburgh's award. I'm traveling around the world. I say, oh, that's amazing. And every time the pilot says, I've got my awards. And they are, it's British Airways and lots of people in the UK do it, but they are still proud when they're a British Airways jumbo jet captain of their Duke of Edinburgh's International Award. So that has stayed the same. What's changed is that young people's lives are so different now. The world in which young people are living is so different. Most young people around the world have a mobile phone. most young people around the world, even in rural communities across Africa and India, Malaysia, Indonesia, they have access to a mobile phone.
Mhm.
And we are living in a digital age. And we've heard so beautifully about how computers can help us. And the truth is that AI is going to change the world we live in. We are going to have a generation of young people, even younger than you,
Yeah.
who are going to grow up with a digital companion.
Yeah.
They are going to have, what should I do now? Where shall I go now? What about this? What about that? And so the screens are going to be in everybody's life. And the screens are going to give more information. They're going to make education easier because you can learn super quick. Because instead of waiting for your teacher to get to that subject, you can say, hey, ChatGPT or, Claude or whichever AI tool you want to use, help me with this. And that's coming everywhere. It might not be here yet, but it's coming everywhere. And that means that for young people, the screen will be very powerful. What the award will do is enable those young people to develop the skills they need to be able to work with AI, to work with digital in a way that means they can do it in a good way to benefit society. I'm so impressed by you guys. Here's me. Oh, I just want to be a pilot. You guys changing the world, let's empower women. Let's ensure that the oceans are clean. I'm like, I'm such a bad human being. But the fundamental truth is that what the award teaches you is to see your community. When you're volunteering in a community, you see your community, you see the needs. It helps you to solve problems. It helps you to ask the right questions. So in a world that's becoming more digital, the thing that's changing is how important the award is. I think it's more important than ever that people do the awards so that they are more capable of working with AI in a way that we can make AI a force for good in the world and we can make the world a great place to live.
Yeah. And also, I think what's important part of the award that young people are actually in control of their journey. And with all the digital tools and especially AI, we kind of losing the skill of making decisions. It's so easy now to ask what to do, but you need to have the skills to actually decide for yourself. And I think the award would also support that skill and remain us in control of our lives a bit more. And the last topic for the first part of the episode, I would like to talk about international youth representative roles. And Martin, I will start with you. Can you explain a little bit why these roles were created and why they're so important for the award?
Yeah. So within the award association, we have an international council, and they are representatives from all over the world, from our 4 regions, who gather usually twice a year, once digitally and once in person, to take forward the agenda of building the award around the world. And so they bring a challenge to the award to say, can we do more of this? Can we change this? Can we make this easier? Can we give better access? And in that role that International Council has, we really wanted to make sure that co-leading that discussion were young people. And so we have a process where we ask young people to submit themselves and say, hey, I would be happy to be an international youth representative, an IYR. And this year we had well over 200 people from around the world say, I'll help. I would like to be an international youth representative. And then we had to break that down to a short list. So they had to write applications, and then a panel of people decided on a short list. And those short lists went out to the regions, and there was an election. And so all the young people in the region got to elect their regional representatives. And the winners of those very fiercely contested roles are today's IYRs. And now a 3-year period of hard work begins, where Emerald and other IYRs will come to an annual International Council event around the world and help shape the future of the award alongside the regional representatives from the national award organizations.
And Brianna, you have been in this role for the last 3 years. So can you share a little bit about your experience and some of the maybe achievements you want specifically to share?
I'll start by saying it's been a whirlwind of an experience. Coming from a small country, or I'd say a Caribbean country, they're very structured in the way that they do things in terms of governance, in terms of who has a seat at the table, and young people rarely have that opportunity. So when I stepped into this role, even before I stepped into this role, I had very little, I would say, experience or exposure with higher level governance. So when I did have my seat at the table and I was sharing my opinion, sharing my views, or things that as a young person, I know that young people value, it wasn't kind of seen as something that was like, okay, maybe we'll consider it. It was accepted, and it was even in some cases challenged as well, just to be able to see the award grow. One of the things that I'm very, very proud of in the past 3 years is being able to expand our reach across not just my region, which is the Americas, but across all the regions. We've seen an immense amount of growth in young people that want to be involved in their communities, that want to be engaged. If it's not if the Duke of Edinburgh program, with other youth programs worldwide, being able to recognize and realize I do have a voice. Everything that I say, it does matter. It can have a seat at this table. It can be seen in this room with higher level governance with these quote unquote really important people that we have around the world. So that's one of the things that I'm very proud of. And I hope Emerald and all the other IYRs will continue on that journey. And I know they'll do just that.
And Emerald, yeah, you have just stepped into this role. So my question is, what's your main goal?
Before I get to my main goal, I really want to appreciate the creation of this and just reflect on what other IYRs have done. And so many institutions, they say they want to have young people at the table, but it's just tokenization. Let's just have them sit there, look pretty, click on the camera, post to social media, we're good. But for this role, I've done a lot of reading, been very active already. I was just discussing with Martin that it has stretched me so much because there's a lot of things to do. So it's not just about being in the role and being a young person. It's about actively contributing to things that really matter. And as someone as experienced and so wise as Martin, he is ready to sit down and listen, not just listen to respond, but listen to internalize and see case studies where whatever we say can be done. And they have done such an amazing job. You know, we're reading all through the papers of what they have been doing, and we're like, oh my gosh, you did a lot. But the main thing I'm looking forward is ensuring that the award definitely is going to, but transcends the digital age. Many organizations are not really embracing technology as how they should, but the award is doing amazing in that, from the online record books to ensuring accountability, transparency, the reach of the award itself. So I'm looking forward to also ensuring that on the governance side, we keep very much in touch with young people and the generation that's coming in with the internet and digitalization. Another thing that is also very important as a main goal is ensuring that every young person globally, no matter their economic status, can have access to the award. When I went through the award, the first time I really felt the award, I cried. And on the last day of the IGE, when I went back to my room, preparing for the opening ceremony, I cried because the same feeling that I felt when I went through the award of young people coming together and just being so open and not allowing anything to differentiate our status in the world or segregate us as people is really beautiful. And it's not something you see generally around with a lot of organizations. But we can see it here. So just reinforcing that and ensuring that every young person has the ability to feel this and know that they're really among. Because as young people, whether in the good side or the bad side, we're all fighting to be seen. In their world, we're not just seen or heard, we're held. We're very important. So I'm really looking forward to seeing this continue. I'm sorry for the
That's amazing.
With so much caring and so much passion, I'm sure that you will achieve all your goals. So thank you so much for sharing this. And Martin, thank you for joining us today. Before we let you go and continue with your very busy day, my last question to you would be, if any young person comes to you and asks, why should I join the award? What would be your answer?
because you don't yet realize quite how much potential you have inside you. And the award is like opening a cupboard full of all of the things that are inside of you. And as you go through the award journey, you'll say, I didn't know I had this. I didn't know I had this. It's like treasures that are within you. And the award unlocks treasure after treasure after treasure. And you will realize that you are wealthier in talent than you can possibly imagine. And we will help you to find that talent.
Thank you so much.